This is the AM News. Let's get into the details, starting with the New Patriotic Party parliamentary candidates for Tema Central, Okaikwe Central and Techiman South have been declared winners of their respective polls after the Electoral Commission was ordered by the Accra High Court to collate outstanding polling station results in those constituencies. The EC, however, suspended collation of results from the Ablekuma North constituency, and the Commission arrived at that decision to allow its officials to authenticate the scanned copies of results from 20 polling stations. Kenejesi has more in this report.
After declaring the parliamentary results for Okaikwe Central, Tema Central and Techiman South, the Electoral Commission has suspended the collation of Ablekuma North constituency. The reason? It says it has noticed some inconsistencies in some 20 pink sheet results that have been provided by the various parties.
Now, we were level 62 from the return of the Yugoslavia. After doing the collaboration with the two parties, they have reduced the 62 to 21 now. So he will need, because the 21, they are not agreeing. It's 20 or 20. They are not agreeing, so he will need time to study them again before he takes final decision. So we will suspend the collation for today to give him time. Then when he's ready, he will call us, then we'll come and conclude.
You see, as we started, I said, I don't have the results. It was destroyed during my collation. So they brought sheets, results, and some of the results are in contention. Some of them, you can see mistakes on the sheets that they brought. So I need to confirm.
Is it the sheets that the MPP brought or
the sheets that I have received from the parties? I have to authenticate them.
So if you say you have to authenticate, how are you going to do that?
That one is left with me. That one is left with me.
Well,
I have to.
You don't have the pink sheets. How are you?
I know my work. I know my work. I know how I'm going to do it.
After the Accra High Court ordered the Electoral Commission to collate results in these 4 constituencies, the EC declared Charles Forson of the MPP as MP-elect for Tema Central with 18,870 votes. Ebi Bright of the NDC polled 18,815 votes. In the Okaikwe Central constituency, MPP's Patrick Yabuama was declared winner after the collation with 21,099 votes. His closest contender, Baba Sadiq, polled 19,368 votes. In Techiman South, the MPP's Martin J. Mensah Kosa was declared winner by the Electoral Commission with 46,663 votes. The NDC's Christopher Bayre polled 43,429 votes. Well, the MPP say they are satisfied with the processes so far.
But we continue to abide by the EC's guidelines and rules. We are all aware that at the commencement of this exercise, the EC said parties must submit to them their copies of the Form 8A from these 62 polling stations. We did. Whether scanned, soft copy, or hard. EC indicated that where there are discrepancies between parties' numbers, the final decision will come from them. We've gone through all the 62, 40 of them have been accepted. It means we are left to 20. EC says we need to give him some time, not more than 24 hours, for this exercise to be done. We will plead with our supporters and other stakeholders that let us respect the rules of the game.
However, the NDC have indicated that they do not recognize the collation exercise that is going on.
We are not going to take kindly with what is going on. We are not part of it. We will not respect whatever is coming out from this process because it's an illegal process. Completely illegal. In fact, our attention has been drawn. That's why I rushed down here to address the general public. Let the NDC supporters be aware that, look, they should be rest assured. Leadership is in charge. And we will make sure that the illegality going on here will be reset by the reset process. It's left with 2 days for us to start the reset.
With just 2 days, until the members of parliament elect are sworn in. The Electoral Commission is obviously racing against time to decide on what to do with Ablekuma North.
Meanwhile, the NDC has rejected the collation and declaration of results for the 3 outstanding constituencies, labeling the process as illegal, as we heard Dr. Rashid Tango say over there. Now, Director of Legal Affairs for the party, Eduji Tamaklo, says the party has filed an appeal and stay of execution against the Accra High Court's ruling that ordered the Electoral Commission to complete the collation of the results.
I need to state categorically that the National Democratic Congress reject these purported redeclarations that are happening today at the Rich Office of the Electoral Commission. We reject it. The National Democratic Congress, together with our parliamentary candidates in these 4 constituencies, were the interested parties as far as the mandamus applications were concerned. Now, immediately after the court made those orders, we proceeded to the registry of the court to file a notice of appeal together with an application to stay the execution of those orders. Now, having done that, we proceeded to the office of the Electoral Commission. They were not there. We moved to the law firm of the Commission's lawyer. Thankfully, we met the clerk in the law firm, and the processes were duly served on the clerk. Now, and this yesterday, the process having been served on them, it's our expectation that the Electoral Commission will abide with the processes that were set. Now, they have decided to blatantly defy the application to stay the execution and proceed with this purported redeclaration. And that is why we say we categorically reject this redeclaration.
Now, Upper West Regional Minister Stephen Yakubu says he's surprised the governing New Patriotic Party lost the presidential election despite the development it's brought to Ghana. In an exclusive interview with Joy News Upper West Regional correspondent Rafiq Salam, he posited that he expected the people to reward the party by voting massively for them.
Outgoing Upper West Regional Minister, Ambassador Stephen Yakubu says he is yet to come to terms with the massive defeat of the New Patriotic Party NPP, despite what he termed as monumental development that the party brought to the Upper West region and the country at large.
The Kamba Bridge is a major bridge. It's an international road. I know how our party and Honorable Ambrose and the good people of the MPP work hard for that bridge to reconstruct it. And in fact, as a region, we're so lucky because during the rainy season, if that bridge wasn't there, that entire sector would have been cut off. And this is the vision and this is the way MPP work. But doing all this, in this region, we got 0. So
Nando may be an isolated case.
Well, I just gave an example about the entire Upper West region. Look, Soko projects, DDF, GET Fund, District Assembly's Common Fund, you name it. There's a massive improvement in people's lives. But as a politician sitting down, what I need to think about is, really, do Ghanaians really want the roads? Do they want the schools? Do they want the hospitals? Do they want the electricity? Because that is what is running through my mind. Because if really indeed they want these things, why did we lose? Even in this region, we didn't even get even a single seat. Are you saying that we didn't do anything? The 8 years, are you saying that we didn't do anything at all in this region? Even in Wahia, look at the peace that we are enjoying. Are you saying that we didn't do anything? So it is something that we need to.
It may be relative because some few years ago, 3 years ago, we could count about 18 people. Most of them security men died.
Yes.
What was insecure?
We have stabilized the situation. And that's the most important thing. Problems come. And there's no community. I mean, you see the US, people are driving buses into people, killing them. It is a government that when problems come, how they met out solutions. And that is what MPP does.
President Akufo-Addo in March 2024 did a mini reshuffle, swapping the two upper regional ministers that brought Ambassador Stephen Yakubu to the Upper West region. That decision of President Akufo-Addo did not sing well with the people. Many are of the opinion that it is an exercise in futility as it benefited the two reshuffled ministers.
In other stories, fire has grazed over 100 stalls and 30 shops at the Kwadaso Wood Market in the Kwadaso Municipal of the Ashanti region. Now, the inferno ravaged the main sawmill, destroying major plants, equipment, and thousands of cedi worth of goods. Nana Bwachi Yadom tells us more in this report.
The fire at the Kwadaso Wood Market caused huge damages to millions of properties in the wood market on Saturday evening before the intervention of the fire service. The blaze spread rapidly and ignited an explosion in a nearby ECT power supply chamber, causing a more devastating impact. Some of the victims say the fire service used more than 5 hours to fight the fire to avoid spreading to the nearby houses. Most of the victims are calling on the incoming administration to launch an investigation into the matter and also come to their aid. She says, what has happened here is new to us. We need the help of the authorities. We need you to come to our aid.
And when I came to the scene, to be frank, the fire was very great because it was something that we cannot, we the boys here, we cannot do anything about it. So we need to call the fire service for them to come so that they will come to our aid.
The assembly member at the Nsiasari electoral area at the Kwadaso municipality, Richard Tutu, speaking to Joy News, said no life has been lost, but the most affected items are the wood products and the milling machines.
It affected so much, and a lot of, I can say, they've lost a lot of properties here. A lot of properties here have been lost.
Have you been able to quantify how many traders have been affected?
About 30. About 30 here.
Going forward, what will be done?
We've just started the investigation on what caused the fire. So the assembly too will come in for us to know what to do in the near future.
Investigations are currently underway to identify the cause of the fire. For Joy News, Nana Bwachi Yadom, Kumasi.
Moving on, Member of Parliament-elect for the Ebuakwa South constituency, Dr. Kingsley Ajiman, is asking government to immediately halt the trader-led reconstruction of the Kantamanso clothing market that was razed by fire on Thursday, January 2nd, 2025. Now, the blaze claimed one life, destroyed over 1,000 stalls, and caused losses worth millions of Ghana cedis. Despite the tragedy, traders have already begun rebuilding their stalls at the site. Now, Dr. Kingsley Ajiman insists that the reconstruction must be government-led to ensure proper standards and safety.
The fire that started at 1:20 a.m. on Thursday, according to Kantamanto Traders Association, affected over 7,000 shops and approximately 30,000 traders, claiming one life. Here's chairman of the Kantamanto Traders Association, Samuel Amo in an interview with Joy News.
I know somebody died from where the fire started. He was sleeping on top of some of the bills. So before he realized that there was a fire, he fall from there. He was rushed to Kurubu, but I was made to understand that he just passed on. And that is the casualty, the only casualty that I know of. When we talk about people that have lost their goods, where we are standing now, there are over 2,000 shares here. And you know, there are about 7,000 shares were lost to the fire. There were 7,000 shares.
The National Fire Service battled the blaze for over 12 hours before successfully extinguishing it. However, less than 24 hours later, traders have already started rebuilding their shops in a bid to prevent authorities from redeveloping the area.
Shopping mall. I know baby and sana so they are pleading with government to come to their aid. According to him, when it happened in 2013, government supported them. They are not expecting anything different. They don't want new shops, they don't want anything. All that they are pleading is that they want government to support them.
But I say na pamo aha pamo because your baby more ye di moja and I ain't Ghana for no so no your baby a to ya de ne baby ye di edwa because more e bi o Ghana ha bebre but wo kwa abusan wo se nipa do se ne gu mo ho but kantamanto ani pa ati wo mo ne nipa ketwa so ati ase o because population we o for long short to sisi na hwe me gu a metima ka cho say about the 50% ne bi o mu okunu 85 ni nyina ni kunu kantamanto na etete wo mo beto mu kura nkola 2 ne 3 but e bia mo wan say bia mo besi amo acha manipa mo emwa because for suni ma ne nton wo mo mu because an e di adwa wo table so aha no kura hende Ghana na di ura kanta ha utimi de bo bra.
The chairman of the Cantonmental Traders Association, Samuel Amo, is also urging authorities to assist the affected traders to rebuild their structures.
We know the government, the MPP or the NDC or whatever will be in power will help us. But we want to help because the saying is having help those who help themselves. So we are helping ourselves. And we don't expect, we know the economy cannot cater for everything.
Collins Frimpon for Joy News.
Well, from Kantamanto, we get into our business update. And in our first story, economist Professor Patrick Asuming has warned about economic difficulties in the medium to long term when the country begins to repay debts owed creditors. He says of the economy is not out of the woods yet, owing to the cascading effect of the debt exchange program. And President Dankwa Akufo-Addo, during his last State of the Nation address, mentioned that government had begun making some $346 million payments to Eurobond holders, which has helped in restoring confidence in the economy. Now, speaking to Joy Business, Professor Asuming said it is too early to start jubilating.
I think I was quite surprised to hear the president say that the economy is not broke. I mean, well, we couldn't pay our debt, and we are begging our debtors to forgive us and to slash us part of our debt. If that doesn't mean that we are broke, I don't know what else that means. But I mean, if we take the president's word that the economy is not broke, we've seen recently even WAEC struggled to get funding, the required funding to mark papers for students to come to school. And also, we've seen even, if you ask people who are doing national service, I think they are owed at least 2 months' pay. So if really the economy is not broke, and yet we refuse to make this payment, I guess some people say it's just pure wickedness. So, but it's not the case that the economy is not broke. The economy is clearly broke. And regarding the other things the president said, well, I think that's his interpretation of how the economy is. I think the president tends to focus too much on some of the 1 or 2 macroeconomic indicators, especially the growth indicator. But when you look at all the indicators broadly, including some of the more granular micro data that the Statistical Service releases, so you know that while the GDP number says the economy is growing faster than expected, we also see that the labor market is getting weaker if you follow the employment statistics that the Ghana Statistical Service releases, or you look at alternative data that tells you that more Ghanaians are becoming vulnerable to food insecurity. So I think perhaps, the president is choosing and picking what specific data to support the claim that, the economy is doing better. We are nowhere near recovery. As it's going to unfold in the next year or two, we will really begin to see how difficult as a new government takes over.
In other business stories, energy strategist Dr. Yusuf Sulemana is upbeat that the International Arbitration Court's ruling in favor of Tullow Oil, preventing the firm from paying more than $300 million tax to the Ghana Revenue Authority, will go a long way to boost confidence in the operations of the exploration firm. Reacting to the development, Dr. Sulemana urged Tullow Oil to continue to engage government over tax disputes covering its operations in Ghana on a mutually accepted basis.
Lot of confidence. Like it or not, Tullow has suffered a lot. Sometimes it's not by their own doing. And I can tell you that Tullow portfolio, Ghana is their main producing asset. They are not having it easy in Kenya. They are not having it easy in Uganda. They hit dry hole in Guyana. Namibia, they pull out only for people to go and find oil there. So Ghana was their main concentration point. I had my own problem with that strategy, where they are doing capital discipline to the detriment of the core business, which is EMP, exploration and production. That has happened. We are fortunate Ghana is their main focus. So I always see Ghana and Tullow as Siamese twins. We need each other. Tullow need Ghana as much as we need Tullow. Without Tullow, our upstream is, like I said, our upstream, we don't, Jubilee Field is the grand jewel for our production. And if you imagine, and a lot of the shares that were falling within Tullow and other things, it was actually because of a development in Ghana and nothing else, and other areas. The producing asset, if the producing assets are not churning that much, it affects the stock market or their stock market, So I believe that with these things resolving or getting to be on good footing, it will pave a way, it will pave a beautiful way for Tullow to come back and come back strongly. And at the end of the day, it will help us. It will help Ghana, it will help Tullow.
Wraps up the AM News Bulletin on the AM show. Of course, our conversations begin now, starting with the news review segment. And Dr. Dixon Adumakukisi, who's MP for Anyaso Utum, as well as James Kofi Annan, the 2024 NDC parliamentary candidate for Ifutu, are joining us to review the newspapers. Please stay. We're back in a bit.